Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today this is a bit of a new one. This is my first rank 5 video. I finished Eternity of Pain a few days ago. I can do a bit of a short guide on it in future, who I used, what paths I went, etc. Overall it took about 6,000 to 7,000 units and a lot of free crystals. So I used a rank 4 gem on Blade from the rewards. Use the catalysts on Korg, and I'm saving the final materials for Absorbing Man or Spot when I manage to open up those crystals. On screen you can see the different options I was running through in my head while I was doing the quest. It's quite varied, just most of these champions are the one I enjoy the most, the ones I'm using most in War and BGs because that's my main focus at the moment. Probably a bit more focused on BG rank ups, but most of all I just wanted someone that I really enjoy. In order, I probably wanted Science most, then Skill, then Mystic, then Mutant, then Cosmic, and last Tech. You can probably guess my top option for Science and Skill, as they're pretty much all I upload. But really, I was happy with any class. I've got top options from all of them. It's not that I would be disappointed in any of the classes, it would be more that there's just a couple specifically that I prefer more than the others. So I finished the quest and I went to open up the crystal and I got Cosmic. So I'll just run through the top two options. So it was Galen or Hulkling. So Galen is obviously incredible, he's particularly good in this current BG meta. My worry was just that it's a massive target painted on his back to ban. I feel like I would barely get to use him, even though he is obviously incredible. I also don't really use him in War very often. I think I've used him once, and that was just for a couple fights. He is obviously very good, he just doesn't often fit on my team. So the next was Hulkling, and he is a little bit more of a two-way option. He's a horrible defender to face in some metas. You really have to have a counter for him. He's also incredible on pretty much every BG meta so far. I also do use him more often in War. I think I've brought him 5 or 6 wars over the last couple of seasons. But when it came to it, I just thought that he would get banned as well. So I didn't really want to rank up a champion who would firstly get banned a lot in BGs, but also be such a good champion that it would leave a bit of a hole in my deck. So obviously when they get banned, I can't use them to counter all the champions that I have them in my deck for. And that could put me at a pretty big disadvantage, whereas if they're rank 4, then they sneak through, or people don't want to ban them so much. They just don't have that same target on their back. So I kind of changed my mind a little bit from the top options that I was thinking of. And I wanted someone that would be good in BGs and good in War, but not so unbelievably good that they're just an obvious ban target. I wanted someone that could be really useful, but if my opponent bans them, then it's not the highest quality of champion, so that it's an easy decision for them. They either have to take a risk and ban this champion, or leave me with my rank 5. So with all that in mind, my rank up was Cersei. So Cersei is someone that I've had a lot of fun playing. I think she's very simple to use. She's got a great rotation, just building up your transmutations, getting to an SB2, throwing it with some massive fury damage, and then refreshing them with the SB1. She's also fantastic for BGs, like really, really underrated. I've seen some great stuff with her. She's got such a short ramp up that she can be hitting, 60k, 70k hits on her SB2 within 30-40 seconds. And for BG level health pools, it's just insane. She works really well against a lot of different champions. There's some some little matchups like Bishop that you wouldn't really think she'd do that well for, but she can reduce the duration of Incinerates, she can stop the opponent's abilities activating with her glancing, but most of all it's kind of the damage. And then obviously she is an incredibly annoying defender when you do not have a counter. She forces a counter from the opponent, so you know I could make them draft a Mystic and then just use her on offense anyway, so it's a bit of a wasted spot. Already I've used her to great effect in BGs. This guy was forced to use CGR, didn't get her down. This is the hazard shift meta, so it's a bit of a good one for her because there's not many Mystics that can deal with it. This guy used Overseer and it didn't go too well. And then this guy actually used Shang and quit out because I doubt that went too well either. So it's really great when you can just catch someone out without a counter and you know their match will take ages or not even get finished. So next I'll do a quick damage showcase of her and take it into everyone's favourite measuring stick, Realm of Legends. The playstyle is literally just double mediums, build up my transmutations, and then when I get to 4 or 5, I throw a heavy which triggers my glancing. That doubles the amount of transmutations I get as I'm building up to SP2. You're aiming to get as many as possible because for every transmutation buff you get a Fury, an extra Fury during the SP2. So I'm only up to 11 here. You can get up to 15, but it's quite hard to get on the first rotation. What I'm going to do here though is just build up again to an SP1, which lets me refresh the duration of the Furies. Just going to do that just below 2 bars of power. That means I have enough time to rush back up to an SP2 and I'll be able to throw it with the 15 Furies. And just look how much damage this does. So that was probably about 140k SP2, somewhere around that. And it's very, very easy to ramp up. And you can see that under a minute for a Realm of Legends fight, and not even the most ideal ramp up at the start. She's got very accessible damage, and because of that, I will just show how she manages in a BG level health pool. So this Venom the Duck is about 200k, which is, you know, your typical rank 4 defender. So I'm not going to go for double mediums all the time because you don't need them. You want to get to SP2 a little quicker. So I'll just use my heavy to activate the glancing. You also get a power gain buff at the end of the glancing, which just helps you top up some power. So I'm building up my transmutation buffs, bait out a special, go back in, and then throw in my SP2. I purposely got one where the last hit didn't crit here because I don't want it to seem like, you know, she relies on this crit to get good times. But you can see I'm doing massive, massive damage. 16k mediums, 10k light hits, and the SP1 to finish it off. She had much more range than that. And that's a 40-second fight, which is about 55k points in BGs. So you can see she is an incredible attacker and an incredible defender. Overall, I'm extremely happy with my rank up. I can't wait to try her in some BG metas where she's a little bit more useful than the current ones. I'm sure she'll have an absolute blast in the Power Shield one. I know that Galen and Hulkling are objectively better champions, but firstly, what I said about banning, I just felt like I would lose out on them being able to use them at all. And also, I just didn't have that feeling of, yeah, this is a champion that I really want to rank up. And I did have that with Cersei. So first and foremost, this is a game, so rank up who you enjoy, and I definitely enjoy Cersei. Let me know if you want to see any particular content with her. I'll definitely do some BG matches in the future, but thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Cheers.